It's time to answer your questions. Every Friday, we answer 3 questions from the audience. You can submit them via voicemail at 219-2-DAVID-P or via email or Twitter or Facebook, whatever is easiest for you. Jeremy wrote to us. Jeremy said, do you ever leave movies at the movie theater that are terrible? How do you decide? It might sound like an innocuous question, but it's a really, really good question as far as an economic issue, an economic concept of sunk costs and opportunity costs. A lot of people I talk to say they will not leave a movie that's bad because they've already paid for the ticket, and assuming they're not going to complain and get a refund, which you can do actually at most movie theaters. People, if you complain, you usually get your money back at a movie theater if you leave halfway through. The idea is you might as well stay for the whole movie because you've already paid and you would lose that money. It allows us to explore an economic concept. If you believe that the movie is going to bring you no additional benefit because it's so bad, or that it might actually give you negative benefit because it's so bad it's actually ruining your day, it actually doesn't matter that you've already paid for the film. Think about it this way. If you paid $10 for the film is 2 hours long, and after an hour, you're miserable. If you can leave and spend that second hour doing anything that you would enjoy more than the second hour of the movie, the fact that you already paid for that whole movie should not be a factor because your net enjoyment would be higher, even considering that you paid for the movie, if you leave and you do something else. And this same line of thinking can be applied to cutting losses in so many areas. People will say, well, you know, I already started paying for this work being done on my house. Even though it's coming out terribly, I just need to get my money's worth. That is not true. If the costs are sunk, you're better off cutting the losses, which is more bad work being done on your house. And now that being said, I've actually never left a movie on purpose. There was that one time, Lewis, where I went to the bathroom, where I was at a movie with you and a few other people, couldn't find my way back to my seat and ended up leaving. That's a story for another day, which I've actually told before. But I have not actually left a bad movie because I feel like I'm discerning enough that I haven't ended up in a movie that I knew so little about that it ended up being terrible. But the argument of you've already paid for it, you should stay, is not a very sound argument.
Agreed. I have never left a movie, but I find that if a movie is really bad, I might start enjoying it. I might start enjoying, I don't know, just how bad it is. You know what I mean? It's like the mystery science theater thing almost that I do with myself, where I look for, I scrutinize it, and I say to myself, I'm going to try to find all the terrible things about this movie that I can, and I'm just going to enjoy this train wreck.
Yeah, and I think that would apply to when you convinced me and some other of our friends to go see The Punisher.
That was a terrible, terrible movie. Yes, it was laughably ridiculous, and amazing that you know, the budget, considering the budget of that movie. But anyway, I don't think I've ever left a movie, not that I can recall anyway. At least not because the movie was bad.
So long story short, if you can spend the time you would be watching the movie doing something you would enjoy more, forget about the fact that you've bought a ticket. It is time to leave.